I've just bought this Escort Cosworth, right? Dream car for me, absolutely over the moon with it. But it has been off the road at least 6 years. Now, it's got a problem, it's overheating massively, and I'm so scared it needs a head gasket. I've never ever done anything like that before, like a head gasket, but if it does need one, I'm going to do it myself. But before I start pumping money and parts at it, what we're going to do is we're going to remove all the pipes because it's overheating, and we're going to flush the full cooling system on the car, see if it's got any gunk, any slugs, anything just lurking in the system that will cause some kind of blockage. So let's pull some pipes, get some water and flush it all out. Before we start to flush the engine, we need to remove some of the pipes, and I'm going to start with the 2 pipes that are connected from the engine to the radiator. There's 1 pipe each end of the radiator, and they both go to the engine. The car is fitted with aftermarket silicone hoses, but that shouldn't make any difference as to why the car is overheating and got a blockage. Next, let's grab the hose pipe and get some water. So let's check the radiator isn't blocked. I've got this pipe off the one end of the radiator, and I've got another pipe down here off the radiator. So if we put some water in, it should free flow all the way through and come out. If it backs up and comes out here, we've got a blocked radiator. So as you can see, fellas, with the hose pipe in one end of the radiator, it is free flowing out the other end, so that tells us there isn't a blockage in the radiator. So next, let's remove the thermostat. Then there shouldn't be any blockages anywhere, so all the water should flow everywhere through the system without anything to hold it up. So here is the thermostat and part of the thermostat housing. Next, let's put some water in the header tank. With the radiator pipes off and the thermostat housing off, the water should come out around the thermostat area. So with the expansion bottle full, it's not going down, it's staying, or it is going down very slowly. So as the water in the header tank isn't flowing out, I thought I'd blow on it and see what happens. And when I do blow, it does come out. I don't know if it should be like this. I don't know, fellas. I don't know what is going on with the water system on this car. So this pipe here is the return from the turbo, and if we fill it up, the water level doesn't change. I would have expected that to go down, even though it's a return. Maybe it does get blocked by the turbo, I don't know. So that pipe runs from the header tank along here to the turbo, so let's take it off and see if there's a blockage somewhere along this pipe. So I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of one-way system in the turbo that doesn't allow the water to backflow. Nope. That water is coming out the end of this hose absolutely perfect. No restrictions at all in that bit of hose. So next I took the pipes off the heater matrix and put the hose pipe to that. There was no blockages anywhere in the heater matrix. The water flows perfectly through all of that. Right fellas, honestly I'm at a total loss. I've got water flowing everywhere apart from, it gets a bit iffy around the turbo. It is a water cooled turbo. I don't know if the turbo pumps water as it spins or whether it should be free flowing. But I think we might have to stick a water pump on, see how that goes, and just pray it's not the head gasket. That is a big expensive job. So to remove the water pump from the car, the first thing I need to do is remove the thermostat and the thermostat housing. It's held in place by 3 bolts. Right, so there's the thermostat housing off and everything's clear on it, there's no blockages. I can't see any issues with the it tastes horrible, that antifreeze. I can't see any problems with anywhere on the thermostat housing. So let's now take the water pump off. I've never done anything this big on a car before. So the first job when removing the water pump was to remove the auxiliary belt. This powers the power steering, the alternator, the water pump, and it's got a tensioner wheel on it so the belt doesn't fly off when the engine's running. The next job was to remove the pulley wheel from the water pump. This gives us access to the bolts behind so we can take the water pump off without taking the timing belt off. So looking at the water pump, it looks like it's done about as much work as a full-time Yummy Mummy from Newcastle, but even new parts can have faults. So let's take it off and have a look. So there is the water pump off. Now honestly fellas, I'm a bit gutted because it does look absolutely brand spanking new. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Like I say, I think this has been fitted and left. You see there's a tiny little bit of surface rust where it must have been, I don't know, but there's a tiny little bit of surface rust, but that is a brand new water pump that. If we take the cap off, it's brand new. So I don't think it's a water, like if I hold the ends, it's, the impaler's tight, do you know what I mean? There's nothing, I don't know fellas, gutted. I'm at a point now, what do? What do I do? Everything's clean and clear. You can see all the holes there, they're all perfectly clear. I mean, this is that new, I might just stick it back on. Right fellas, so as I was saying, this bottle isn't getting hot with the coolant inside isn't getting hot and it's filling up. But like I say, it's not getting hot. Now the return comes from the turbo, so the water comes out here and back to the bottle. So that's the return. The pipe comes around, it goes into the turbo, it's a water coolant for the turbo, it then goes through the turbo to there, comes out this pipe down here and into the head. But if I blow in this pipe, it's blocked. There's something blocking it, so that I think that could be the cause of some of our problems. So let's strip them pipes off and see if there's a blockage in there, see what's going on. And to find out if there's a blockage, we're going to have to remove the pipes. I think they're stainless steel and they're held in place with a big 19mm banjo bolt. This bolt allows the water to flow through the pipe and into the turbo. Right, so that is flowing free, there's no blockage in there. So it tells us it's either that last pipe or the turbo that's got the blockage. Right, so I've got both water pipes off the turbo, and the only place that can be blocked now is inside this little port. There must be something blocking the water from coming through the turbo to the pipes. So to check for a blockage in the turbo, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a cloth here and we're going to blast the airline through and see if we get air coming through. Best case is it blasts a load of gunk or rust or something out, then hopefully that'll unblock the turbo and we'll get some water flow. So if I blow the airline in there, I can now feel the air coming through. If we look at that cloth, it hasn't really blew much out. I don't know fellas, I just don't know. Right, so if you look at these two pipes fellas off the turbos, if I put some brake cleaner in the hose, it should come out of this hole in the centre of the bolt. That's where the water comes through. So if we squirt some brake cleaner in, it should come out the hole. You see it's not on that one, it's coming out around the bolt. But if we check this one, see it's coming out the middle of the screw. So let's take this one apart. So I think there might be something up with the bolt. Oh, look at that. Bingo fellas, this could be it. This could be what is blocking a pipe and causing the overheating on the car. So if we take the other banjo bolt off the other pipe, you can see what it should look like. This allows the water to flow into the bolt and round the pipe. Right fellas, so this is why we weren't getting any flow through the turbo. We've got a bolt here that's gone rusty. Can you see there? If I blow in here, in this hole, it should go through, then out these holes of the bolt. But absolutely sees solid, like there's no air going through that. And the way, it's horrible, that antifreeze. And the way these work is, there's like a tube here and it's got a ring round, then that goes in there. Then the water flows round. So obviously that was the blockage in the turbo. Now thanks to Graham Good on eBay, we have in this bag some brand new bolts. Can you see them in there? And they also come with the washers. These come with like a soft washer, so it squashes and makes it like it's like a gasket, so you don't get any water leaks. So let's get these on the car and we'll try and blow through it and make sure we've cured the fault so we'll get water through, and hopefully this might fix the car so it doesn't overheat. then we haven't got to do a head gasket. So to fit the pipe, we just need to remove one of these bolts from the turbo housing. I did remove this when I removed the pipe, but then I put it back on to save losing it. So you don't want to lose your nuts and bolts, fellas. And that pipe goes on there. This is the return to the bottle. This is the water out of the turbo. And that'll go there. We'll get a new bolt. You see, it comes with the new washers. These are aluminium. Sometimes people use copper, but obviously this time we're going with aluminium. Now, if you remember, before we've done these, if I blew in this pipe, this is what we've just fitted. The air didn't come out the other end. So let's give it a test now and blow in it. Haha, that is 100% better. So let's see if we fix this Escort Cosworth. Let's put the heating system back together, and we're going to start by putting a brand new thermostat in the thermostat housing. Right fellas, we've got the thermostat in the thermostat housing, and we've also got a new gasket for the water pump. So let's get the water pump and the thermostat on the car and see if we fix the issue of the car overheating. Honestly, I'm desperate to find out. Now, before we can fit the thermostat housing, we need to fit the water pump, and I'm refitting the old one. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it to me. It looked brand new, so we're going to refit it with new gaskets and new bolts. Once the water pump is fitted, we can then fit the thermostat in the housing, and that again is held on with 3 bolts. Once that's in place, we can then refit all the hoses to the cooling system and refit the last hose to the turbo where we had the blockage. Right, so before we start it up, let's put some coolant in and we'll listen for water dripping out. I'm sure I've got everything tight, but just in case, we'll start by just putting some coolant in. Now the coolant we're using, as you can see, is oat coolant. It says right there on the bottle. I didn't know this, but there's different coolants for different cars, and my car needs an oat coolant. O-A-T, oat. And once it's full of coolant, we'll fire it up and check everything is getting warm. Make sure we're getting water flow all around the engine through the water pipes. I'm over the moon. The car is running. All the pipes under the engine bay, all the water pipes are getting hot where they weren't before. So by unblocking that pipe on the turbo, I think we've fixed the overheating problem. I can't actually tell for certain yet because the car cuts out. It'll run for about 5 minutes, then it just shuts off. So in the next video, I'm going to try and get it running. I would love to take this for a drive, but at the minute I can't. So thanks to everyone that watches, thanks to everyone that's made a small donation to the channel through the link in the description below. But yet again fellas, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.